for 43 years to my husband Al, and we have 3 daughters and 7 grandchildren. It was at the time that I was working in hospice, and I was the general manager, so of course I was in charge of the overall operation. My job, I was starting to use more sticky notes than I did before to remind me of interviews that may be coming up. I was using my GPS more often, and at the age of 62, 2 years later, I was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. Working in the field and seeing individuals with Alzheimer's, thinking what it must be like to have Alzheimer's, and then being diagnosed with it myself, I was completely awestruck. I became involved with my local chapter, involved in walks and supporting them in ways that I could, speaking for them, as well as for here in the Cleveland chapter. But I wanted to do more. I think it's so important for those of us with the younger onset who are able to come out and speak, to be that voice. It's not easy. I don't care what age you are. It is a devastating disease. And to know that we're here. It's not going away. It affects anyone that has a brain, even those younger than I am. So it's very important to be that voice. Thank you for being our cheerleaders. Continue to do so. We need you. We depend on you. We rely on you. You are our hope. You are and will be the end of Alzheimer's.
Sharon and I are high school sweethearts. We live in Chagrin Falls area, and we have we had 3 kids, and those years of raising those kids were magical. I am a go-to guy that will, set up the tables or go over to somebody that doesn't look like they're happy and try and get them into the fold. Seeing it, learning about it, trying to make the light that shines on this disease brighter. That has to, that's something that I do every time I get the chance to talk about it.
I was a nurse, a mother. I taught paramedics, I taught doctors. I worked in level 1 trauma centers up and down the East Coast. I wanted to explore every exciting thing I could do, every gunshot wound, every car accident, every helicopter. And I was into educating, and I educated people about their diseases and things like that. And I loved my job. But then some things changed, and I was making a lot of mistakes in my work. My work was recorded, and so it was brought to my attention that I wasn't thinking correctly. So I thought I was having a stroke. So one day I walked out of work and went to get tested, and I never went back to work again. I was 55 when I was diagnosed. I went from making $100,000 a year to making less than $20,000 a year right now. Okay? I'm the lady that has to decide kitty litter or grilled cheese. It shouldn't have to be like this. You don't realize that when people my age who aren't old enough to get Medicare, who aren't old enough to get the benefit, we lose everything, every 401k, anything I ever saved for the rest of my life, I've lost. There's a few things that you can do when you have Alzheimer's. I can either stay home and just have this little dramatic cry, or I can go out and do the only thing I can do and preach about it. So now I'm actually going out and I speak to young doctors, medical students about Alzheimer's. I try to go to any place I'm invited to talk about Alzheimer's and tell people how it affects your life, how you need a caregiver, how I need you to also advocate so that everybody knows and the people will vote for Alzheimer's and give us money for research. When I was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a hopeless ending. And now with this, and you people, it's an endless hope.
I was a registered nurse, and I worked at the Cleveland Clinic for like 30-some years. I love nursing, but I got to the place that I just couldn't remember how to do what I needed to do, so I had to retire. I went to doctors and doctors. I went to my primary doctor, and she sent me for all kinds of tests until eventually they figured out that I had Alzheimer's. I was 55 years old when I was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. I think it's important to let people know what Alzheimer's is and that it's not a death sentence, because you just think when you hear the word Alzheimer's and you have it, that your life is over. You think it's over. But with the association helping you, there's just so much you could do. When they educate you and help you and support you, you can actually make life better for the person that has Alzheimer's and for the people that's taking care of the people with Alzheimer's, because their life changes as dramatically as the person with Alzheimer's almost, because there's nothing in their life that's the same. It is all different. And if you don't understand what the Alzheimer's person is going through, you don't know how to react to it, you don't know how to live with it, you don't know how to make peace with it, you don't know how to help them, you don't know how to get some joy back in your life, because it is really, really hard. But once you get that positive spin on it, as hard as it is, it gets better. It doesn't make it go away, but it makes life better.
I've been married to Dave for many years, probably like 30-some years now. Dave is a worker. He is, he's my rock. And I don't know where I would be without him. When this all began, I was teaching, and I was having a really challenging time keeping track of the kids' names, what their special needs were, because I was a special education teacher, and that was becoming a challenge. Since I was diagnosed recently, or in the last few years, with Alzheimer's, I feel that it is important for me to share my experience with the Alzheimer's disease and how I'm dealing with this disease on a daily basis. The more people are aware of this, the more people out there that we can touch and make them understand that there is such a great group of people that are in need of this help, and will be continuing to be a larger group of people that are going to need this help. The more funding that we can get focused into that area, the better off many people are going to be in the future, now and in the future. So hopefully people will see that need. And I can't express how thankful and grateful I know not just me, but everybody in this situation and their families appreciate what you can do to help this future, for people in the future, for our children and our children's children. It is just a blessing, and I can't thank you enough.